Hello everyone, welcome again to Home of Politics. I appreciate your support and continue tuning in every time so that you remain updated. Ladies and gentlemen, the issue about the AU Commission chairmanship that Honorable Raila Odinga is a willing candidate who is ready to vie for that seat. Today, the critical statement there, it is the academic qualification or academic requirement and the required term of experience that these candidates should have. And so when we arrive to that critical issue of academic qualification, in order for you to be able to fit into that position as a candidate, then you must have some specific field of qualification and some specific years of experience so that you can fit. The first academic requirement, it is a master's or PhD in law. We also have another one, international relations, economic diplomacy, management, business administration, political science, social science, or closely to related fields from the recognized institutions. Then under the relevant experience, we have a minimum of 20 years of relevant experience, including 10 years plus in senior leadership, ideally in intergovernmental or governmental roles. Those are the key qualifications that Raila Odinga, who is our suitable candidate, should meet or must meet before being considered into that position of AU chairmanship. And so this gives us a lot of stories, and on social media it has been trending so very much, because there is this man called Miguna who have been hitting Raila Odinga day in day out, and he has been hitting him because of his education background. Sincerely speaking, we don't think if it is the grudge that has been existing between this lawyer Miguna and Raila Odinga during the time when Raila Odinga was sworn in by Miguna before Miguna was deported to Canada. But he has been exposing a lot of inner secrets about the educational background of Raila Odinga, expressing that Raila Odinga has no any form of required education to fit into this field of the academic requirement that is being required into the AU chairmanship. And so for Miguna has been saying that, and on his social media, especially on X platform, whereby he has been posting that Raila Odinga is a standard 6 dropout. Sometimes he says he does not, the background of education of Raila Odinga is not very clear, and he cannot be sure because Raila Odinga cannot mention even two classmates, maybe one of whom they studied with in Kenya, or whether in Germany, the way they are saying he studied in Germany. And so it becomes a very serious issue when it comes to papers, experience. Those requirements are very compulsory, because if you see the terms and the condition of the AU chairmanship, it is not something that you are nominated directly into that thing. You have to be elected, so that the vying is yourself selling, you sell yourself even to this nation. For example, Raila Odinga must be able to convince the Eastern African nation that are together in AU to vote for him or to propose him as the best candidate in Eastern Africa or in East Africa. And that means that Ethiopia, that is Tanzania, Uganda, any other country that is in AU in Eastern Africa must be satisfied that Raila Odinga meets the qualification. And so it becomes a very bad impression when we see our own Kenyan who is fighting the same Kenyan who is expected to be supported by us, maybe to rise into that top seat. And so it have been shameful to in one way or another, because if you can go there and see the tweets that this General Miguna has been posting, he has been pertaining that Raila Odinga will still come back and he is still here in politics of 2027, because if it is true Raila Odinga has qualified, then it should be shown, or the evidence should be exposed everywhere, because what we know that Raila Odinga is an engineer where he acquired it in Germany, and his education background in Kenya is not well known, because we are being told about the primary school enrollment. He later joined Maranda High School, and we don't know how it ended, and he found himself in Germany. And so that has been a very big topic of discussion, and we don't know what is your take about this, because now it is everywhere that Raila Odinga is the suitable candidate in Eastern Africa. But when it comes to papers, that is where we are finding issues. We don't know if it is the documentation whereby the online sources are giving us maybe information that is not complete, but we have not seen anywhere where our leader has got the requirements of maybe degree or bachelor's, master's in law and political science, that one. And so for my case, I just went directly at least to try to find the sources that state the biography of Raila Amolo Odinga. But before we go there, we saw that the person who came and made Raila Odinga to feel very much confident about being suitable to fit into this position, it is the former president of Nigeria. This is the former president, Honorable Obasanjo, who traveled from Nigeria to Kenya, and it was not his first time. The first time he came, he went, and he has come again. It shows there is a close friendship that is existing between Obasanjo and Raila Odinga. And remember, Obasanjo himself was among the chair of AU. He served, I think, very many years ago, I think around 2015, going backwards. That is the time when Obasanjo served as an AU chair for 1 year. And so he felt it of great importance maybe to convince Raila Odinga also to try this race if he can secure a seat in AU Commission chairmanship. And so I really doubt if the former president of Nigeria, Obasanjo, was aware that Raila Odinga is an engineer and not having other qualification like political science, that one of international relation, business, those things that are being required to be an AU chairmanship. And so we have not seen anywhere where engineering or something else was needed. And so it will be a shame maybe if it turns out to be like people are pushing Raila into that position, but he does not have the right qualification. And so if we can see the biography of Raila Amolo Odinga, or the biography under educational background, then we can hardly find those qualifications that it is being needed in OAU. And we see, as for the former president of Nigeria, the faith and the hope that he had instilled in the people and in Raila Odinga himself, I'm sure where he is right now, maybe he's just shocked if maybe he was not aware about the academic background of Raila Amolo Odinga.
Africa. And can we find such a person? I believe, yes, we can. But such a person should not be the candidate of his country. He should be the candidate of the region. And if the region can come together and put such a candidate forward, I believe that should be the way we should go. And that's the main point of my visit before I go to attend the AU meeting for the 17th and the 18th. And I have no doubt in my mind that my friend could easily be a viable candidate. But that, of course, subject.
My good people, up to now, the educational background of Raila Amolo Odinga, it is not clear. Like, it is just a complicated story of which maybe it was documented, maybe some part of it, and we are just confused, because as usual, you must have, if you have, you must, the story of education, you must have from primary level, secondary, tertiary, as you move upwards. But for Raila, we are being told a very little bit of his academic background, and after that he comes back in Kenya with a master's degree in engineering, and after a very short period he is full in politics and up to now. And as we can follow back, we see educational background of Raila Odinga. He schooled in Kisumu Union Primary School, and he later joined Maranda High School for secondary education. He dropped out of school in 1962. That one is when he was in high school in Maranda. So after dropping out, he traveled to Germany. And after he traveled to Germany, he was admitted at the Hada institution. That one was in 1965. So after he dropped school in 1962 in Kenya, he traveled to Germany. He took 3 years to be admitted in Hada institution in Germany, where he was awarded a scholarship at the Technical School Magdeburg Faculty of Education of University in East Germany, and later he graduated with a Masters of Science in Mechanical Engineering. That one was in 1970. And so if we are being told Raila Odinga was born in 1945 or 1947, that period, then by 1962 he was in high school and he dropped. By 1965 to 1970, this is the period when he has the masters. We are not told if he had a degree, he had another one, but he promptly secured a master's in science in mechanical engineering. And so up to that point, his educational background is not well documented. It is just complicated as it is. We are fully aware of his primary level education and secondary level education. But it is just very, very interesting to find out that he came back to Kenya after he came back from Germany. He was employed at the Standard Bureau, where he worked there, and from there he joined politics completely. From there, we do not know if Raila Odinga has been fully in politics as he pursues education alongside. We are not told. And so if you can see his educational background with the requirement of the AU Commission chairmanship, it does not relate in any way, because some of the qualifications that this candidate must have, we see it is a master's or PhD in law, international relations, economic, diplomacy, management, business administration, political science, social sciences, closely related fields, and 20 years of experience. Maybe he can have a lot of experience because this is a well-known leader, but the side of academic or papers, that is where we are not sure, and we don't know how it will end. And so maybe we can concur with these critics who are criticizing Raila Odinga on social media and everywhere that he might not be a fit person to be in AU Commission. But as usual, guys, we wish this leader very well in his academic success, and at the end of it all, we know the truth will be revealed. After all, he is not supposed to be nominated, but he should be elected, whereby the period of election is in 2025, and right now it is the period of campaigning. He should sell himself to countries that are within AU in Eastern African Commission. For example, that countries like Tanzania, Uganda, Ethiopia, Eritrea. Raila Odinga must come out and step out with his papers, experience to convince all these countries and their president to give him a support so that he can come out as the best or suitable candidate in AU competition. But as we are seeing things the way are going, then we are left there wondering. We are even wondering if this former president of Nigeria, Honorable Basanjo, had confidence enough in Raila Odinga to travel all the way from Germany to come in Kenya only to announce that he is pleased to find a suitable candidate like Raila Odinga to vie for the AU chairmanship. And I'm sure where he is right now, maybe seeing all the rumors on social media about his incompetence and lack of qualification in educational background to fit in the AU chairmanship, then I'm sure that leader right now is very much heartbroken because he traveled only to come to Kenya and to bring hope that Eastern Africa can produce a suitable leader. And so guys, that one is just my opinion. I don't know what you think about Raila Amolo Odinga, if he's going to give a shame in the outside world to tell us that Africa or Eastern Africa cannot produce the suitable leader, especially in Kenya. That one is a very big shame to us, but we cannot conclude it that way. Let us wait until we see how this is going to turn out, because if within Raila himself knows that I have a master's in engineering course, but the related field that is required is the issues to do with the political science, the issues to do with law, then it can be a big confusion. Maybe we can say he was just trying to reach where he cannot reach. I don't know how it will end. How can you advise us on this issue of Raila Odinga maybe having a disqualification in academic experience, but in experience of leadership he's the best? Can we negotiate that one in the comment section? Have a good day.